So welcome everybody to the semifinals. We'll just give it one more minute to make sure that everyone is joining the AirMeet platform that is luckily working now. So a little bit of thrill to get started with the semifinals today. All right, everybody, a warm welcome and thank you all for taking your time to join the semifinals of this year's Next Generation Water Action. We had a little bit of thrill for the last half an hour getting the challenge of getting AirMeet up and started, but I hope you have all found yourself a nice cup of coffee or some water to join the next 1 hour session that will focus on the Rambøll semifinal. Welcome to participating students, jury, partners and mentors that will be joining the platform AirMeet that we're today facilitating the semifinals on. And to those of you that are joining us today through our direct live stream on the website. My name is Marie and I'm the project manager of Next Generation Water Action. And I will today facilitate the session together with my colleague Levke Uben and a fantastic team that's sitting here behind the screen making all this happen and run smoothly. We're live here on a beautiful day in Copenhagen, directly live streaming from DTU Skylab, which is the hub for innovation and entrepreneurship based here at the Technical University of Denmark. Together with the strong partners, we have since February involved almost 100 students and young researchers in working on 5 defined water challenges. Today, we're gonna tackle the challenge brought forward by Rambøll. And just one moment, and I will share the screen here to give you a little bit of glimpse of who is gonna be involved today. So this semi-final will provide the stage for 4 teams of students and young researchers who have been working on the Rambøll challenge. It is focusing on city-scale planning and operation and climate adaptation, and there's here an overview of the teams in the order that they will be presenting. So we will start with the team from Denmark, move on for the student team in Kenya, then India, and conclude with the team in Ghana that will today have the opportunity to present and share the ideas that they have been working with. The students have been working within, but also very much beyond their studies, taking the time in a period that's not been easy for a lot of them, not being able to meet physically, connecting with new student teams, working along the semester. They have also a different nationality, of course, but they also have very different academic backgrounds that they have been working to bring into use into these challenges. So I hope that you're also going to be curious, but also open-minded to the diversity of the 4 solutions that's going to be brought forward and pitched today. We hope also that you're going to be inspired and bring new perspectives into this water challenge. And following the pitches, there will be the opportunity to further connect for those of you that are joining on AirMeet to actually have some networking opportunities with the student team. So I ask you all to stay with us until the end. We also ask and encourage you to be curious and proactive for the opportunity to connect after this session. And for all of you today, there will be the opportunity to actually provide additional sparring and mentor time to all the student teams. For the jury, that will be possible through the jury evaluation sheet. And for those of you that are joining the live stream on the website, there will be the possibility to indicate whether you have an interest to provide more time to give sparring to the teams. So on the website, just below the link of the live stream, it's also going to be shared now in the chat. You will be able to indicate if you have an interest to provide additional sparring to some of these student teams. Before we go on the stage with the student teams and give them the opportunity to interact with the jury that we have invited, we would first of all like to welcome our partner who has brought forward the challenge and together with colleagues provided the teams with the sparring throughout the process. So on the stage now, I would like to welcome from Rambøll Senior Consultant Stefan Werner. Stefan, the stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Marie, and welcome. I hope you can all hear me. I cannot see myself. I don't know why. Can you see me? Is it possible? I'm a little bit confused. I have not worked with this before. Can somebody? Yeah.
No, we cannot see you, Stefan. There should be below in the bar.
Yeah, now
yes,
we have.
Now you're there.
Hello. Yeah. So technical issues. I'm Stefan Werner from Rambøll. I work in the urban planning department and climate adaptation department, and I'm the challenge owner of this project, which is called, it was located in Rio de Janeiro, where we had a lot of issues. Yeah. So, and one of the issues is actually the urgency in the water sector that sometimes we have too much water and sometimes we have too little, so that nothing of both is good. And it's in this perspective very, very important that we get a globally understanding of what we are dealing with. So when I presented the challenge, I was giving actually the students a report with a lot of pages which describes the different hazards for Rio, and it was quite a complex challenge. And I just said, okay, let's hope that somebody grabs some of the problems we have and come up with a solution or idea how we can deal with this. And I'm very happy that there is this stage for the students and give them the possibilities to come up with bold visions and ideas, because this is what I think is very important, that we do this, because business as usual will not help us in the future. So why is this important for Rambøll? In Rambøll, we work a lot with climate adaptation and the challenges which especially urban areas have. And sometimes when you, like me, have worked in Copenhagen with the implementation of the climate adaptation plan, you think, okay, you live in the very rich city which has a lot of data and yeah, where we very have the privilege of knowing a lot which is around us. But there are many other cities who have this maybe even bigger challenges than we have here in Copenhagen. But the level of data you can work with, or even the administration or the knowledge about climate change is totally different. And with the knowledge we have from Copenhagen, sometimes it is difficult to make an approach in a city where you have many other problems, or maybe even the political system is not really built for dealing with this. So this is why it is important to think about, okay, what can we do when we don't have enough data, and provide the citizens a better living condition. So, and for Rambøll, it's quite interesting to see, okay, how can we challenge our thinking into a new direction? What is possible, and what kind of collaborations should we are looking for? And I'm very happy and proud to see what the students work with, and I'm really looking forward to this semi-final here. And for myself, who worked with the first implementation projects here in Copenhagen, it's always nice to see how this knowledge somehow can be transferred to students and let them build something on top of it. So I think this will be my last words for now, and I will give the stage back to Marie. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your talk here, Stefan, and also welcome from my side, of course. So Marie and I will be, as Marie introduced, be switching today and jointly facilitating the session. So thank you, Stefan. And you can just remain on the stage, because what our next step would be right now is already to introduce the jury members. And then, of course, we are more than happy to have you here as the challenge representative staying on the stage, also functioning as a jury member. So welcome in your second role here today as well. Then besides Stefan, I would like to introduce the other jury members as well. So as a second representative today in the jury, we will be having from Rambøll, Gonzalo Fuentes de la Piana, who is an urban planner and architect, and particularly in the Department for International Water and Climate Resilience. So welcome, Gonzalo. Great to have you on board. Further, the initiative has been developed in a very strong collaboration and partnership together with DTU Environment. So we're particularly happy also to have a representative from DTU Environment here, which is Carsten Arnbjerg Nielsen, who is a professor in climate and monitoring. Welcome, Carsten, as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Hi, welcome. Perfect. Then as a second partner who we have been involving throughout the initiative, we had the IWA, so the International Water Association, and particularly the young water professionals. And I'm happy to welcome here Franziska Braga, who is representing the young water professionals from Denmark. And not only is she that, but she has also been very involved with the students throughout the initiative, also as a young water professional mentor. Welcome, Franziska. And then last but not least, as a fifth jury member, we're very happy to also have here representative from DTU Skylab. So our very own Linda Weiss here, who will be joining the jury today, who has been leading the initiative the last 2 years. And of course, that gives her a great background to be functioning here as a jury member. And we hope that you will join the new perspective that you're having on the initiative here today.
Hi, everyone.
Great. Perfect. Before we get started, since we are also live streaming the event today, I'll just give a very short introduction to the pitch structure so everyone knows what's going to be happening and how that will look like. So what we're doing is that each of the team has pre-prepared a 3-minute pitch video. So thereby we also hope to eliminate any further complication that we could have here with further internet or server platforms problems. After that 3-minute pitch video, each of the team will have 2 student representatives on the stage, joining the judges here and giving a 30 seconds live pitch. After that 30 seconds live pitch, which I will be stopping here, I hope you can all hear the bell. I will be leading over to the Q&A session with the judges, which will take 4 minutes in total. And for the judges, for you to know how this will work, there should be in the bottom line, you should be able to have a smiley which raises the hand. You're welcome to try it now, but that would be the easiest way if you could just raise your hand and indicate to me that you have a question for the Q&A session. And then, of course, I will make sure to select and make sure that your questions will be answered. If that doesn't work for you, then of course you're also welcome to unmute yourself and just ask your questions. So that is also totally fine. Perfect. Then just maybe as a second update here, what will we actually be evaluating today? So what is the semifinals for? So today we will be having 6 evaluation criteria, out of which 5 of them will be our main ones. So the evaluation criteria that the jury will be selecting the finalists based upon is the dimension of novelty, of future potential. So is it actually implementable? The sustainability impact. So has the team actually considered that it should be making a sustainable impact? The deliverables. So both the pitch video that we will be showing, but also the blog post that the team has been composing. And lastly, their live Q&A performance. So based on the added score of all jury members of these criteria, we will be selecting today two finalists from the Rambøll semi-final, which will then go to the finals, where they will be able to win our main awards, which is the IWA Congress scholarships, which involves and gets the teams traveling to Copenhagen in 2022 and also be announced or win the track. But further, we will be having 2 additional awards, which will be decided already today at the semi-finals. So one of them is that the jury also has the chance to award the best pitch, which will only be announced at the finals. But based on your Q&A performance and your pitch video, the jury member will also be looking to award the best pitch of the overall initiative. And lastly, Gonzalo and Stefan will be having a special role to also be selecting the team that will be winning the acceleration scholarships, which is a monetary award of 1,000 euros sponsored by Rambøll, which will be going to a team as well, which will be selected today. So we have a lot ahead for us, and I'm very excited to see what the next 1.5 hours will bring up. Perfect. I would say we should get started. And before we talk too much, it's time to actually get our true VIPs of the day here on the stage, because the teams, of course, have been working very hard the last 3 months. And I hope that all of the teams that are joining here are very excited. I hope that you're also not scared of stepping on the stage. You should really see this as a stage to celebrate your solution. You have done the hardest part. Now it's more to showcase your ideas and give your ideas and your bold visions a stage. I will now pull up the first video. As Maria's introduced, the first team up will be the team 40K, so the team from Denmark. While I will be playing the video, our team in the background will make sure that we get the representatives on stage. And I will play the video now, which has been developed by the team that is consisting of Justina, Rosalie, Enrique, and Franka.
If you change people's perception, you can change the world. What is your first impression when seeing this? Useless waste that keeps piling up in our backyards, right? Through negative reporting on plastic, a biased perspective was propagated. But what if we rather saw it as a resource and an opportunity? We should stop thinking of plastic as a burden and start considering it as a catalyst of innovation. And this is what Roteto does. Roteto aims to gather used plastic locally and transform it into something useful. The transformation process requires only 4 simple steps. First, the plastic is cleaned and sorted, then shredded into small flakes. Then it is melted. Finally, the plastic is pressed into its shape. The final product is a roof tile, which is waterproof, affordable, durable, and easy to install. Roteto is focusing on roof tiles because there are 1.8 billion people living in precarious housing conditions globally without sufficient waste management infrastructure. But adequate housing is crucial for access to jobs, education, health, and social services, and should not be exclusive. By 2050, there will be 12 billion tons of plastic in landfills. On the other hand, by 2030, 3 billion people will live without sufficient housing. Consequently, resources for building safe shelters for these 3 billion people are needed, Rotato starts its journey in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where 24% of the population lives in informal areas. Living in these so-called favelas means a life with a strong community mindset, a feeling of belonging and solidarity. However, the daily life is limited through a lack of infrastructure. And this is how we create impact in the local community. Rotato intends to collaborate with local waste pickers who will receive a fair salary. Collected, sorted, cleaned, shredded, melted, and pressed into its shape, the plastic is processed at a local production site by community members. Rotato creates a new source of income and empowers locals through skill sharing and knowledge transfer. Besides the positive social impact, the environment also benefits. Rotato provides customizable roofs while cleaning up the environment. After its lifespan, the roof can be returned to Rotato and recycled into another product. Following this circular economy approach, Rotato acts as a sustainable impact startup. We believe in a better and more colorful future for everyone, if we change our perspective now.
Thank you so much, Team Denmark, for a really great pitch video. And now, before I say too much, the stage is yours. You have 30 seconds, Josina and Franca.
Okay, so hi, we are Rotato, and we have a good idea. Recycling plastic to improve lives. As you can see, we just finished our first prototype with very simple machines and processes. If I give you the instructions, you could also do it. However, this is not up to standards for a roof. We need to ensure that it's UV resistant, fireproof, waterproof, and long-lasting. We would use the funding to develop a prototype into a product. Therefore, we need you to create a better and more colorful future. Thank you.
I think that was super well timed. Congratulations on that. Well used, the 30 seconds. Yeah. Again, thank you, Josina. A great applause. I can see some virtual applause here, but let's do that even more in the session. And I'm excited to hear and see if any of the jury members has any questions for the team. So I would open the floor now for the Q&A session, and please raise your hand to indicate if you have a question here as a jury member for the team. Maybe Linda, you can go first and unmute yourself and have a question for the team.
Absolutely. I simply cannot raise my hand, so maybe some of the other jury members also struggle with this. But Josina and Franca, thank you so much for this fantastic presentation, and you're tapping into a very interesting problematic. And I'm just curious to understand if you have already some first users you're trying to test the product, and since you also mentioned that you have been developed the first prototype.
Yes, so we're in contact with actually 2 NGOs in Rio de Janeiro, and there we can at least present our solution, probably. Let's see. And then, because we really would like to focus on the local partners, and then we, through their support, we would really like to get the first customers on board.
Yeah, I can add to that. Currently, as you can see in the prototype, it's a baking tray big, so it's pretty small, and it's not big enough to install. But we were really happy. That's our first try. We have never tried it before. They made it once. We're already able to make a working prototype, so we are very positive that we can make fast next steps and have a good, useful prototype pretty soon.
Perfect. Thanks for a sharp answer here. And as Linda indicated, since the jury is not able to raise the hand, then maybe I would just kindly ask to unmute yourself, and then we will see here. I can see Carsten and Stefan are both unmuted. So maybe Stefan, you can go first, and afterwards you will take the question from Carsten, please.
Hello, Tito. Thank you for your very nice presentation. I was thinking, is it possible to recycle your roof tiles into new roof tiles? Is it like circling around?
Yeah, that's definitely our plan. As we are still at the beginning of our journey. We would need to do more testing to assess that, but now we're hoping or planning that we can do at least one more round after 10 years of having the roof to reform it into a roof, but then probably recycle in an equal quality would not be possible, and then we could still use the plastic, but then would use it for another product, maybe simply some cups. It's very flexible what you can do with it.
Perfect. Again, thank you. And then we'll be having a last question here for the team from Carsten.
Okay, thanks a lot, and congratulations to both of you for this interesting idea. I like the idea of upgrading local materials. I wondered two things. So why roof tiles compared to many other possible new products for plastic? And secondly, have you done either economic or environmental assessments of whether this is a good solution?
Okay, so I can start with the first question. So we realized that many of the current used roofs, they are consisting of metal, or like this metal roofs, fiber cement, and it usually starts leaking after a couple of years, after 3 years approximately, and then people keep using it, but it's leaking. So they are just fixing it with very poor materials. So therefore we think roof could be a good starting point to actually improve their life or the quality of life in a simple step.
Yeah, and if I should address the points regarding the economic and environmental impact, we as the team in Denmark are in a special situation. Next to the Next Generation Water Action, we're also in collaboration with an entrepreneurship class, and in this class the business aspect and the economic aspects are in the focus, and therefore we were thinking quite a lot about how it could be a business, and that's why we also pivoted quite a lot of way from the original water challenge, because we saw in our now idea product a good business case with a lot of impact. And for the environmental impact, we saw quite a few facts and have quite a few points that are well mentioned and impacted. So the trash is not any longer stored in landfill. The pipes are not clogged through waste, which
Not to interrupt you, Franca, you can finish your sentence. I'm just indicating that the Q&A session will be over, but you're welcome to finish your sentence, of course.
Yeah, so the pipes are not longer clogged through plastic waste, which reduces other aspects like flooding, which then comes back to the water topic. But to assess the overall impact, we just need to get more figures and more precise numbers on our for our product.
Great. Well, thank you all for a great first Q&A session, which was very enriching to the pitch. I hope you enjoyed your time on the stage here. And now we're curious to see what the next team brings. So thank you, Justina and Franca.
Thank you.
The next team up will be a team from Kenya. And the team from Kenya who has been developed the video that will be shown in the following is Robert, Farida, Crispin, Angel, Luis, and Yannick. So quite a big team. We're excited to see your video now, and again, in the meantime, we will get the two representatives on the stage.
Did you know that in the period 1970 to 2012, storms and floods caused over 1 million deaths in the world? There has been insufficient data on when and how big the flood was to make a risk assessment, making it hard for cities with huge informal sectors to adapt to the changing climate. Citizens face several issues apart from direct impacts of flooding. These challenges include lack of fair compensation by insurance companies, slowed economic growth due to constant flood mitigation caused by repetitive disasters, psychological stress due to avoidable flooding, triggered by blocked sewer and stormwater systems. Dozens of roads have been flooding, houses destroyed, cars swept away, and development short-circuited. It is in this menace on which our project is based. A tool, Floodizens, will help promote citizen science among residents. Floodizens will help in mapping out flooding areas, as well as convey real-time flooding information to citizens and authorities. It will incorporate monitoring of performance of sewer systems and stormwater infrastructure and their effect on flood genesis and control. It will provide flooding vulnerability information to insurance agencies for flexible and fair compensation to the victims. It will provide awareness information on flooding and safety to actions, including updates on climate change awareness. Finally, it will provide vital information to investment companies on most flood-prone areas, including most potential areas to invest. This is our roadmap. The first year entails app and website development and incorporation of adverts from collaborating partners. The second and third year entails getting data to calibrate and verify models. The fourth and fifth year entails collecting data, integration of flood forecasting to the app, and creating climate change awareness. We call on Rambøll and other NGOs to collaborate to build, test, and release the app Floodizens.
And here we saw a second great pitch video from Team Kenya. Congratulations on that. I hope we do have Kennedy and Nickenen Brandelee now on stage. I can see that both of them had connectivity issues. If it works, please feel free to unmute yourself and give me a short sign. But I think we have both lost them from the stage. Which of course is very understandable, sitting in Kenya and probably not being able to join from the university itself. So while we wait to get the team back on stage, maybe Franziska, maybe you can just share a first feedback with them or with the audience here, if you would be up for that. I would invite you to just share some reflections on the video that you've been seeing.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Nice, great. Thank you so much. It was a great presentation and also the blog. I tried to enjoy having to see this video, and I had some questions for them, so I hope that we can also connect back with them. But it was really interesting and a little bit different that I was expecting, to be honest, and trying to understand how this could be different from like just a normal weather app. But I think it's also quite like different having this mindset that normally, at least here in Denmark, we don't have so much with all these like flooding problems that of course in Kenya and in Rio you will have a lot. So I hope that we could have a great Q&A session with them, and I'm looking also forward to the rest of the teams. But congratulations, it was a great job.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your comment, Franziska. I can see my colleagues here in the back WhatsApping and trying to get the team on the call who has the connectivity issues. Yes, Stefan, please feel free to also give a comment. And of course, you're also welcome to already propose some questions, which in case we are not able to get the team back on the stage, we will of course afterwards forward the questions via email, and then at least them having the chance to send you an email by the end of today.
I think one of them just joined.
Stefan, please feel free.
Kennedy Murunga is available, I think.
Kennedy Murunga, can you are you already connected here on the stage? Nah.
I cannot see them. So, but I can. I mean, I talked to the team in Kenya twice, and so the idea with the app is not like a weather app. It's actually an app to collect data when disaster is happening, and then you provide this data to certain institutional organizations who can then deal with it, and you give it back to the citizens. So that means if you're not aware of where you're living, what kind of problems you have, at least you can look in the app and say, okay, is somebody posting here some problems? But now I can see it. Kennedy is at least on stage, so I stop here.
Thank you for the introduction here and also sharing your experience with the team. Kennedy, can you hear us well? And then, of course, you're welcome to just pitch in here your 30 seconds. All right. I think we do have, and we're texting with them, so we are in contact at the moment with the team, but the Wi-Fi doesn't seem strong enough. So what I would suggest that you just save the question. Maybe you can take some notes for the questions that you will be having, and then we will send it to them afterwards, or in case we have the last minute at the end of this call, we can try again. Okay, let's give it one more try. Kennedy, can you hear us well?
Yes, I can now get
Yes,
you.
we can hear
I've
you.
lost my connection.
Perfect.
Yep.
I would suggest, since the time is running out, maybe you can give your 30 seconds pitch, and then afterwards we'll take the questions via email still. So the stage is yours to just add a little bit to your pitch video here and to the questions that you've already been hearing, maybe.
I haven't actually had the questions.
No problem at all. Okay, should we then take a question instead? Franziska, I think you had just elevated an aspect here to make sure that you completely understand the solution. Maybe you can just reframe the question in a nutshell, and then Kennedy having the chance to re-pitch the main aspects of the solutions again.
Hi, Kennedy. Congratulations for the presentation and for the job. I will just quickly talk about my questions. I don't know if you already have some contacts in Rio or not, if you already realize if there is actually a market for it, and then how you will pitch even to the industry that how this is different from like a weather, normally weather app.
Okay, actually, for now we don't have a direct contact in Rio, but it's something that we discussed with Stefan. And maybe the second question is, this tool is more of a decision support tool, and we did actually review and checked what other tools highlighted. For example, yes, we have had like citizen science application, but more of a calibration of models, validation. But this a tool where we have a feedback loop. For example, if citizens are monitoring the flood levels, or we have flood marks on the ground, then this information, including the areas where we have flooding, for example, investment companies or insurance companies, and out of this, citizens are able to know, and also the companies to know which areas are more vulnerable. Then now they can have, for example, like insurance indices, and come up with a fair compensation decision. So it's more of a flood monitoring, flood protection, and at the same time, a decision support a tool.
Perfect. Thanks you for your very elaborate answer. Exactly. Franziska also saying thank you here. Perfect. I would say we for now close this Q&A session, and then still will give the chance afterwards to the team to reply to a question via your email, which I hope then you can still consider for your evaluation, just to try to stay a little bit in the time frame here. But thank you so much, Kennedy. It's great that we still had you on stage. I hope maybe Nick and Brendaline can listen to our talk here at the moment, and of course we hope that you will be able to answer some of the jury's questions via email afterwards. Great. Then let's move on to the third pitch video that we have today. And I would just kindly ask to that all of the jury members mute themselves again, because otherwise it will be here during the pitch video. So the next team that we will be having on stage is the team from India. From India, we will now see the pitch video as well, which has been developed by Rishabh, Mihir, and Piyush. So let's welcome them with a small applause. And I will be putting up the video now.
Hi, You might be aware about the looming water crisis in our country and the widening gap between the supply and demand for water. And we at Ekatvam believe that we have an innovative solution that can bridge this gap. 80% of India's fresh water is utilized in agriculture alone, and with ever-increasing demand, there is a dire need to manage this water. But can it be achieved by only increasing the supply? There are many case studies of villages where supply alone was increased by building water conservation structures. But as supply increased, the demand increased too, which led to water scarcity again. But what if these village communities were alerted on decreasing water availability? What if they were warned about the implications of the increased demand? And what if the organization had the data to design sustainable interventions? Could the drought conditions have been averted? To understand why managing demand is difficult, we spent time in the field speaking with some farmer communities. We then interacted with experts from various organizations and found out that data for managing water is very scattered. The information and decision making needs to be decentralized, and a participatory water management culture needs to be inculcated amongst the stakeholders. This is exactly what we at Ekatvam are trying to achieve through a platform named as MIDAS. MIDAS is a multi-stakeholder water governance platform which triangulates data from different sources. This data is then converted to information on the water balance of the village, and advisories are provided on how to manage water optimally. We also provide the implication of the advisories on the village's groundwater to enable foresightedness. With this solution, we strengthen and support various organizations' water management initiative and create a sustainable impact on ground by not only providing a one-of-a-kind platform which makes water accounting easy and repeatable process, but also by promoting participatory culture through community mobilization enablers like videos, contents for posters, etc. We have piloted a solution with some of our stakeholders where we understood that such information has the potential to create a holistic impact, as it would be useful for the NGO team to design suitable interventions and strategies, and is extremely helpful for the community to understand the magnitude of the water shortage problem. It also helps strengthen their decision making, which in turn would lead to lowering the chances of crop failure. We want to now deploy the next iteration of our solution in a cluster of villages to further measure and improve our engagement and impact. The validation at scale would help us onboard various potential partners and provide the perfect roadmap to consolidate our results in future to block level, thereby helping authorities to refine and adjust various policies. Finally, I would like to thank my team members, our mentors, and domain advisors, without whose guidance we couldn't have reached this far. Thank you.
And another great pitch video that we have seen. I can see the first virtual applause coming in here. Congratulations on that. I will get Piyush and Rishabh up here, and your 30-second live pitch starts now.
Hi, this is Rishabh from Team Ekatvam, and we present to you a solution that empowers the agricultural community to build resilience against climate change. Our solution, MIDAS, aims at achieving participatory water management that not only solves the problem of reduced data availability, but also enables a bottom-up planning process. Next steps, through your support, we wish to pilot our solution in a cluster of villages, which will help us scale to 1,300 villages in the state of Maharashtra alone. Thank you.
Again, a very well-timed and planned pitch here. Congratulations on that, Rishabh. And the stage is open for jury members. Again, please just unmute yourself, and then I can see that as an indication that you have a question for the team. Carsten, you're welcome to have the first question here. Carsten, do you have a question for the team? Otherwise, I'm also happy to hand it over to Stefan first. No? Okay.
Yeah, sure. I can. It's a nice solution to a difficult problem. So for sure, you can get the citizens in the villages to help. But how will you address the farmers that are also losing money if they are to reduce their irrigation? So do you have a model or thought about how to reduce that, and how to help them not only get the information but also act on it?
Yes, so it is not just showcasing the information to the farmer communities, but also enabling them on how to optimize the water. So we don't promote giving advices like reducing the area under certain crops, which would lead to their economic impact as well. But instead, we give certain advices like how they can improve the area under drip irrigation, increase the area under drip irrigation, such that they can actually reduce the water usage as well. And this will also increase yield. So such advices are given and not advices that will lead to the economic impact.
Thanks for the question, for the answer here. I can see Gonzalo is raising his hand. Gonzalo, please feel free to give the next question to the team.
Yes, hi, and congratulations for the nice presentation. Yes, my question is related to the agriculture cycle and how is this solution related to that, to basically every day or every season buying seeds and then the forecasting of your application basically.
So basically, the entire water balance is a procedure in a seasonal basis. So even in a village community, there are three agricultural seasons that we have. We have the Kharif, that is the monsoon period. We have the Rabi, that is the winter period, and we have the summer, that is the summer period. So basically, there is no Kharif planning that goes on because the rainfall is something that we cannot predict, and the planning doesn't happen. But the Rabi planning is something that can happen based on the current year's rainfall. And that is exactly that we are tapping on, wherein we bring the status of the water availability of that village based on the current year's rainfall, and we provide them what exact actions that they should be enabling and they should be implementing so that they can optimize their demand well during the Rabi season and during summer season. So that is what that is the cycle that we follow. I hope I answered the question. By the way.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We have time for one last question here. I saw in the beginning that Stefan unmuted him. So Stefan, please feel free to give a precise short last question here to the team.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome, India. Great presentation. You said that you worked already with some users. What was the response of the user of your app or your idea?
Right. So our main objective of piloting was to understand the usefulness of the product, whether the user will take it or not. So when we piloted with our CSR partner named Card, named John Deere, along with their NGO named Card, we actually got a good response from them, and they were agreeing on taking it up as a part of their initiative known as Samruddhi, where we could scale to 3 more villages in Pune district in Maharashtra. And also we also piloted along with the village community in our state, and we got a good response from there as well, wherein the sarpanch of the village, who the head of the village, actually commented that this platform is strengthening their decision making a lot, and they would be ready to take this up as well in their village. So from an NGO point of view, we got a good feedback.
Perfect. Thank you again. Both the judges, but also the team members here for a great Q&A session. And I would say let's give a very special applause here to the Indian teams who we all know are at the moment under very severe pressure. And we're truly admiring you for still delivering such a great pitch video, although the very hard and tough situation that you're facing in India at the moment. So big congratulations to your team.
Thank you.
Great. Then we have a last team here joining us today, which is the team from Ghana. The team from Ghana is Emmanuel, Amma, and Abigail, and we're very excited to see the last pitch video of today that they have been developing.
On 3rd June 2015, widespread flooding in the capital city of Ghana, Accra, resulted in the death of 159 people. It was neither the first nor last time that the capital city had experienced severe flooding during the rainy season. Climate change predictions for the country shows a continuous rise in rainfall. This will result in more incidents of flooding in Accra if proper measures are not taken. Rapid urbanization and migration to the city has led to an increase in demand on housing and infrastructure. As a result, widespread informal settlements and illegal slum communities have emerged in the capital. This has resulted in major construction activities on wetland areas, which otherwise were made up of natural vegetation. Wetlands are distinct ecosystems flooded by water, which occur naturally in every part of the world. They act as natural sponges, which soak up and hold excess water, making them one of the major ways nature controls flooding. Undoing the damage to natural wetlands in Ghana is going to take a huge investment and major loss of assets. A constructed wetland is an artificial habitat made up of plant species which exhibit the same functions of a natural wetland. These wetlands will be located in between low-lying and high-lying flood-prone areas in the city that can support the implementation of constructed wetlands. These areas will be detected using Geographical Information System technology. Intermediate retention tanks will be used to collect and store stormwater runoffs and released at controlled rates to the constructed wetlands. This excess water can also ensure that the wetland does not dry out during the dry season. Constructed wetlands are cost-effective, easy to operate and maintain, and environmentally friendly. Our main target market will be the government and private agencies responsible for monitoring floods, water supply, land usage, conservation of wetland, and the environment.
Thank you, Team Ghana, for a last great video. I hope you've made it on the stage. I can see Amma is here. And let's see if we have a second representative joining. But I think it's Amma for now. Amma, I will start the 30 seconds. Am I audible to you? Will you just give me a sign that you're ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Perfect. Then your 30 seconds start now.
Okay, so our intended solution is going to serve a dual purpose. So the constructed wetlands are not only going to control the flooding, but also going to support the water supply to the members in the community. And then we intend to locate it close to water discharge systems. And if we have a situation where that's not possible, we can just store the wastewater that has been treated and supply it to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Amma, for your pitch here. Maybe while you're not talking, you can just mute yourself again, since we're hearing the background noises of the place where you are, probably to have a good internet connection. Perfect. Yes, I'm looking here at the judge panel. Anyone has a question, then maybe just raise your hand shortly so I can see the indication. Stefan, you're invited to go first.
Yeah. Hello, Ghana. Thank you for your presentation. I was thinking about, is it necessary to make a pre-treating of the stormwater in terms of chemicals, or can it just go directly into the wetlands?
Okay, so it's important to treat. It's depending on where the water will be coming from. If you have a situation where it's coming from areas where the water has been polluted, then there is a need to have the pre-treatment. If it's coming from an area where there's going to be a lot of residue, you have to screen it. Otherwise, it might affect your discharge system or your basin. That's for your constructed wetland. But if you have a situation whereby it's not coming from a polluted region, it can just go directly into the wetlands.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. And I can see that Franziska has unmuted herself, and feel free to give the second question here. We cannot hear you, although you're unmuted. Let's take Carsten first, and maybe Franziska, you can just quickly refresh your browser because that sometimes is the issue. And I can see Carsten is also unmuted. Let's see if Carsten has a question for the team.
Yeah, well, thank you for an interesting presentation, and it's very close to what I do normally. So therefore, of course, it's good. But I wonder what the scale and what the potential for uptake is. So how new do you think this is, and how can you make a business out of what you are presenting here?
Please, can you come again? I didn't really get the question.
So what is, I mean, you present how to make these wetlands, but what is your value added? What will you make money of if you are to start a business on this approach?
Okay, so first we'll make money out of the construction itself, and depending on the area of interest, the agencies that would want to take our services, maybe depending on something they want to in a particular area. And then we can also decide to sell the treated wastewater. Every water that comes out of a wetland has been treated because of the vegetation. And so it can be a source of water supply for the communities and also for other commercial purposes. Maybe if they have farming communities located close to the wetlands, we can sell the water to them as well.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for your answer here, Amma. And the 4 minutes are just running out now. So I would like to thank again the judges for your questions and also Amma. Thank you for joining the stage. Perfect. And let's give a communal applause here, because that has been the last Q&A session and also the last pitch. And I think what was very special about the challenge here for Rambøll, and Stefan has mentioned it in the beginning, it had a very wide scope, but I think it was also great to see the diversity of the solution that have been brought up to this challenge. So congratulations to all of the teams. I think you have managed to integrate your very own perspective and background quite well into your pitches. Before Marie will give the last next step announcement towards the final, I would just like to hand over again the stage to Stefan to give a short recap and a short closing talk here for our participants and also for our audience. And then, of course, mostly right now, I would like to warmly thank all of the jury members who have taken the time to be here today, but of course also to be investing the time to read all the blog posts, watch the videos, and then be scoring all of their solutions. So it was a pleasure having you here on stage, and we're very excited to see what comes out of your scoring in the end and what teams we will be seeing at the finals again. Stefan, I will pin you here with your video, and the stage is.
Yeah, thank you very much to Kenya, to Ghana, to Denmark, and to India. So I think you made tremendous work. So you should be proud of yourself. So I got the stage here, and I get actually some points from DGU. And one question was, is there a career in the water sector for you? And I would say, of course, there is. You should stay here because it's maybe one of the most important areas you can work with, because when there is no water, when there's drought, like people in India talked about, we have no life as we know it, and if we have too much water, like in Ghana or in Rio, we have no life as we know it as well, or at least we have to convert to be fishes, and this is not really an option. So what we actually need is we need future water leaders who can mitigate in the extremes of the water crisis we are seeing right now, and provide somehow a cross-country collaboration to build a fair distribution of water, even the drinking water or the surface water. And there was like this Games of Thrones, which is saying winter is coming, and I would say climate change is coming, and it's already here. So this is something which we have to deal with, and to look in how to deal with this in the future. And then we can say even the finals are coming. So this is the semi-final. So I'm very happy you you did this, and then I'm very excited to see the finalists pitching their ideas on the even bigger global stage. And I want to thank all of you for your ideas, your bold visions, and we here from the Rambøll, or the Rambøll Foundation, I'm actually not part of the Rambøll Foundation, but I'm employed in Rambøll. They have this Acceleration Award, and we talked about it, where to give it, and we decided we want to give it to the team Kenya because of this disruptional potential which we see in the citizen approach to use collected data and make actually the people's life safer. And I think it's important to see how data can be delivered into a place where there's no data, and I think citizens approach, and this is where we see that that this could make a real difference. I can see we have some connection issues here from somebody else is leaving us. Sorry to see this. So, but thank you all for your time, your engagement, and your effort, even in times like this where we have COVID and it is somehow dangerous sometimes for people to get infected. And stay safe, and all good from me. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Stefan. And I just want to echo your words. First of all, thank you to the jury. Thank you to the students that has been taking part in this since February. Thank you to Rambøll and the Rambøll Foundation for also being part of this and mobilizing the mentors and providing the sparring and also the detailed challenge description in the beginning. As Stefan also is saying, it's not ending today. We are just warming up for the finals. And as part of the finals next week, Tuesday on the 18th of May, we will be announcing the 2 finalists in the beginning of the session. So the finals are for all of you, where we will be celebrating and doing a number of announcements, also reflecting on the scoring today. And I also want to thank all of you to explore and learn how to communicate your ideas through the platform of a video, which I know has been new to a lot of you, but also been extremely impressive from our side to see how you have actually tried through this platform to communicate in our digital reality at the moment your fantastic ideas and also show the diversity of these. We would encourage those of you interested also to, after this session, feel free to join the other semifinals that will take place afterwards. You can do that directly on our website, and some of you has also been directly invited into the AirMeet platform to join the next session. We are not ending here from our side. You who are taking part in the AirMeet session, you will just in a moment be taken from the stage and be able to join the lounge, where you are absolutely welcome to reconnect both within your team, but also connect with some of the jury members and the partners that are part of the call right now. It's optional for you, but I hope that you will take the last minutes to join and have a very unfacilitated, informal conversation across the people that we have involved today. So thanks to all of you. See you very, very soon, next Tuesday, May 18th. Make sure also to promote, make sure to sign up if you haven't already. The finals will be live streamed on our website. So in case you have family or colleagues or others that would like to look into the session, you are very welcome to share the link so they can also take part in it. So thanks to all of you. We will be zooming out from DTU Skylab now and invite you all to stay connected on the lounge and see you very soon. So thanks to all of you, and let's give a virtual applause to each other.